Welcome to chat. Welcome to my live. Hello again, everybody. Hello again. It's still Friday. Yay. Friday, July 24th, 2026. Hello again and welcome in. This is my second live today on this matter, and I hope you have a chance to go back and watch part 1 and part 2 if you didn't, at least in the smiley style, right? That's how we're doing this, in the smiley style. So hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Don't know if anybody's here or not, but just come in and say hello. I'm glad to see you again this evening. We are doing this in the smiley style way, and I want to try to break it down for you in my way. Hello, good to see you. Good to see you, Diane. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I always appreciate you all. It's Friday. I hope y'all are having a great Friday evening so far. Hello, Mamaw. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Casey. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm on my phone, so again, it's hard to tell when it goes live. So I'll give y'all a few minutes. Hey, Susie. Howdy. Howdy. Love you, Miss Susie. Love you, ma'am. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's doing good this evening. So this is my second live on this. This will probably be my last one on tonight's anyway. And then, like I said, my traveling days got mixed up. So tomorrow I'll be traveling, but hopefully maybe late tomorrow night I'll pick this up again. There's so much to this. So much. Hello. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. Anybody in the bushes? Anybody on horizontal? Hello, hello. Vertical. Everybody. Anybody that's on replay, welcome in. Gypsy, hello, hey, hey. Thank you for all being here. So we're going to do this smiley style version. The facts coming straight from the federal lawsuit that was filed by Seth Rogers, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' father, Seth Rogers. Hey, Raymond. Hello, hello. Good to see you. God bless you, too. Oh, look at that. I have not ever got one of those. Look at that. How cool. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Oh, how cool. How cool. Yes. Love it. How cool. Oh. Love it. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. I like that. But we're here for our opinions and our discussions and everything that comes along with this. We're here for the ride for this, right? We've been here all along and we're here for the ride. So we're just going to be respectful. And so far, everybody has been very respectful. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. However, I would appreciate it if we just kept all the respect and everything here in this chat. You know, this is about Sebastian, so let's just remember that. And let's keep in mind that we all have the same goal, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And that is who I stand for. And I want him found. I want him found more than anything in this world. I really do. I want answers. I want answers just like y'all do. Please, no matter what you think, you know, just if you know something, say something, because it is about Sebastian, period. You gonna start snoring on me again, Happy? Good Lord. Oh my God, I'm sorry, y'all. Every time. Every time. Anyway. But no matter what you think, do not harass anyone. This lawsuit that was filed July 15th, 2026, again, it names Sumner County, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, specifically Eric Craddock, the detective Brandon Carter that was assigned to this case. It identifies John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10, if that needs to be later on. It's asserted as a civil rights case, claims under 42 U.S.C. 1983, and they are demanding a jury trial. And that's what I understand Seth's attorney wants, is a jury trial. And I don't blame them, to be honest. How will it go? I don't know. But they have every right to do that. There's going to be, and it may already be, a notice of, well, no, it already is. Let me back that up. There already is been a notice of, we talked about that last night, of the case review, case management has put out there that it is a conference by telephone set for November 12th at 11 a.m. I found a little bit more out about it today. 11 a.m. set for November 12th, 2026 at 11 a.m. before Magistrate Judge Barbara D. Holmes. And again, I want to make it crystal clear that these are allegations made, and if the complaint is found, you know, it will go on through, and, you know, and I think that it should. I think that it should. I know there's others out there that don't and are not listening and don't care, but in these findings and in these readings that I've done so far, look, especially on DCS, they got their own words and their own documents that they're going to have to answer to, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Hey, Vincent. Smiley has trauma tied to the internet. Has trauma or drama? I don't know, probably a little bit of both. So, it is what it is, honey. It is what it is. But I want those to be fair and accurate. I want it to be fair and accurate coverage. I do. And I want to try to break it down for you. In my opinion, you'll hear in my opinion a lot in this case, and I'm going to find myself giving my thoughts and opinions whether you want them or not, honestly. And, you know, it's my goal to break it down for you in English. So, there's that. You know, you gonna be trolling, Vincent. You gonna make me laugh tonight. You are. You're gonna make me laugh tonight, honey. Make me laugh. Just keep on kicking it, honey, because I am not going to really pay attention. Just keep on keeping on, honey. I wish I was on my computer. I'd play you my little trolling song. But anyway, I want to be fair and accurate with this, right? Giving my thoughts and opinions on this, okay? So let's discuss it. Let's discuss it, what it could mean, and then again, what it's going to mean in the lawsuit. But as I stated before, defendants, they will have the opportunity to respond. They can have the opportunity to respond in court. And at this stage, right now, there's no findings that have been made yet. So just get comfy, hit the thumbs up, and share, subscribe, like, and let's get this information out so Sebastian can get the coverage he needs and continue with that. So Sebastian told the caseworker on multiple occasions he was more comfortable with Rogers, that's what it says, than with Proudfoot. That Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was afraid what Proudfoot would do to him, and afraid that he would hurt him, right, if he disclosed what had been happening or what had happened in California. Rogers would have, if he had known, would have informed DCS that Proudfoot had ridiculed Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers about the prior SA assault, Sebastian's existing trauma, and making Sebastian even less likely to disclose above information to any adult that is believed that they would report back to the Proudfoot household. And that's sad if you think about that. It's sad. Rogers, if he had known, thank you, Raymond. Thank you for that gift. It looks like Gypsy got that gift. Thank you, Gypsy. Thank you, Raymond. Looks like Gypsy got a gift. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Rogers, the father, would have told DCS that Katie had spoken to him on multiple occasions. And she told him her frustrations with Sebastian. And he would have told them that had he been contacted. Because she had frustrations and hostility towards Sebastian, telling Rogers repeatedly how fed up she was with Sebastian and his ongoing incidents, soiling and wetting himself. She was fed up. The very same bathroom accidents that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' therapist had documented, right? And that was documented as a known consequence of his SA abuse prior and a sexual trauma. Rogers would have advised DCS that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' mental state had been deteriorating and that he was distressed, and that Sebastian himself appeared increasingly distressed in the period right before he got missing. But see, DCS already knew that. They already possessed all of that documentation. Hey, Retha, thank you for being here, honey. So, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' escalating behavior issues should have been a huge red flag and a concern. DCF did not investigate the case of Sebastian and how it was decreasing, how there was red flags like that. It just closed the case. Now, in my opinion, it threw another child to the side. In my opinion, in this case, that child happened to be Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. It threw him to the sharks and let him sink or swim. Said, hey, just sink or swim, buddy. With no help, with no life jacket, nothing. They might as well just poured a whole bucket of blood around him and threw him out in the ocean. In my opinion. We're talking at minimum and this is notated in the case, a minimally competent investigator would have noted and noticed that. Well, in my opinion, even if y'all ask for it or not, I'm going to say, screw all that. I say, hell, Ray Charles would have noticed that, and that there was red flags from the grave. Did you hear me? Ray Charles would have noticed that, and there was red flags from the grave. It wouldn't have took a rocket scientist. That's my opinion. So what is going on, for God's sakes? Thank you, Raymond. Looks like Retha got that gift. Thank you, Raymond. And welcome, Retha. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. So what on God's green earth is going on besides all this background and documentation and all this stuff? They knew this. They did know it, right? All people included. And they did nothing except say, don't worry about it, Mr. Chris. It's okay, Mr. Chris. This case is closed, Mr. Chris. It's okay. Come on. Fact is, they did not properly investigate. They ignored the red flags and they closed the case. And that was after over and over contact for 2 years. Then guess what? On February 26, 2024, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was reported missing. Just gone. Just gone. Still can't be found. Just gone. She said Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers left the home on his own, she being his mother, and his whereabouts was unknown. And that Sebastian never left the house before by himself. And given Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' developmental disabilities and documented history of abuse in the home, this report should have triggered the most intensive investigative response possible. So now, more than 48 hours after Sebastian Rogers was reported missing by his mother, an Amber Alert was issued by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, TBI. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office initiated a search at the beginning that did involve significant resources. It included community volunteers. His own father was out there looking for him. Others were told they were to sit quietly. Just saying. That's in my opinion, of course. But they did have a massive search. Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. That search was called off 8 days later. But the problem is, DCS, they knew about all this. Sumner County knew about all this and all the issues way prior to Sebastian going missing. That's a problem. A DCS safety, plan should have been put in place. But March 1st, let's go to that. March 1st, 2024. That night, that must have been the one. Let's see. Hold on a minute. January 1st. Okay, so DCS Safety A Smart was on March 1st, 2024. So in my opinion, that might have been the one. Seth, somebody asked me today, was there an open plan? Maybe that was the one, because that was a little couple weeks after Sebastian got gone. No, actually, that was the next day after he got gone. So, because February 28th, what am I thinking? Okay, that threw me for a minute. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so March 1st, I guess DCS got involved with a safety plan. And I guess that's what y'all were asking me today in chat. Is that one still open? I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's the one that's still open, if it's still open. But that's March 2024. So someone asked that today, and I guess that's what they meant. But there was some kind of assessment done on that, and I'm not sure, but it was a FAST 2.0 assessment, and it was a completion on that on the 3rd. And as of that date, it was a complaint, that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers had been missing for nearly 2 years. At that time, I guess it was just finished. Where am I getting 24 at? I guess it was just finished. I guess that one was just finished. Okay, that one must have just been finished. Don't hold me to that date. I think that one was just finished. I'll have to ask. I'm sorry, y'all. But he's not been found. There's been no arrest, is what it states, and has been made. The circumstances to his disappearance remain unknown. So what they're saying is, they knew all this, and it should have been done. More should have been done. Rogers has been kept in the dark in complete anguish and not knowing whether his son is alive or dead, although he wants to believe that he is alive. He don't know, and that thought has crossed his mind. So the state agencies that he entrusted, because there was plenty of them. Remember, there was the DA, there was juvenile court, there was DCF, there was the advocacy agency, there was all of these agencies that was supposed to protect him. They did not protect him. They failed him in every way. And nobody contacted Seth about any of this. Well, in my opinion, you would be upset too. You'd be ready to sue the whole world. I know I would. Well, in this suit, it states, in DCS's own records, that it demonstrated it knew Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was in danger, point blank. Point blank. DCS's own records and own documentation shows that. So they knew he was in danger. They knew from their own records from back in 2022. 2022. There was an SA case abuse investigation, case ID number 148841073. And because there is critical content for understanding what DCS knew then and when in 2023, and that there was physical abuse when that was opened. In the first investigation, documented that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers had been the victim of repeated SA abuse while living in California, and that he reportedly was disgusted, feeling disgusted with himself over what happened, and that his behavior, was just getting worse and going downhill. They were talking about a placement in a special behavior program at his new school. But they left everything unresolved. They knew there was unresolved trauma symptoms. Sebastian's therapist had identified as sexually aggressive behavior and chronic bathroom accidents as a direct consequence for the prior abuse, and that Sebastian feared Proudfoot and that he would physically harm him. He was scared he would physically harm him if he disclosed any of that information that was documented about that abuse. Sebastian felt like, in my opinion, he had nobody to talk to. And when he did, he had to be real careful because he was scared that if it got back to the Proudfoot's home, that he would be in so much trouble or be hurt. And he was scared. Imagine being in fear with that all the time. Just imagine. I know on this suit in paragraphs 50 through 53, it basically breaks it down in 2023 DCS investigation. It alleges that Seth Rogers was never interviewed. If they had interviewed him, basically, again, as we talked about, he would have shared extreme important that he felt information about Sebastian with them. Like Sebastian felt safer with him, his bio father, which Sebastian repeatedly told DCS and everybody who his father was. His father was Seth Rogers in Clarksville, Tennessee. That's even documented in DCS's own records. Like Sebastian felt safer with his bio father, Seth, rather than with Chris. Again, that is in the CPS reports. Their own words, their own notes, it's all there. Let me keep giving you this breakdown. It's also saying, had they have let Seth notified him, talked to him, or any of the things that they should have done and would have done in any other case, he would have done the right thing and took him, of course. But they didn't give him that opportunity. And had they have talked to him, he would have told them he believed Chris would hurt him if he spoke about what was happening or had been happening. And he would have told them that he was ridiculed by his mother, Katie, over prior SA abuse. And he would have told them that he was experiencing, Sebastian, worsening emotional and behavior issues before his disappearance. Those are red flags, people. And all of this matters. All of this matters. But again, Seth was never notified, so he couldn't tell anybody anything. Most of this he found out, unfortunately, on YouTube on my live stream with Chris Proudfoot and Katie. Unfortunately, that's a hell of a way to find out. And then it took another attorney to get the CPS records, which he has nightmares about, and which is not even close to what we're seeing right here. And we're not going to get all that unless it does get allowed in court after, if and when, if it goes to trial. We're not even getting the whole gist of everything. But Seth was never notified in this case, and now his son is gone. The lawsuit's arguing that DCS failed. They failed. They had the ready available information that they needed. It says that they should have known, or should have known, basically. And they should have known or had the knowledge about Sebastian's worsening conditions. All of that should have been red flags. But it was all overlooked. It was all swept under the rug. They closed the case, and now his son is gone. Again, DCS, like the parents and anyone else, the agency, Sumner County Sheriff's Office, they will get the opportunity to explain their actions and respond to all of these allegations. It's also saying that on February 26, 2024, Katie reported Sebastian missing, but the complaint definitely emphasizes that Sebastian never left home alone before. And we know he wasn't a runner, he wasn't an eloper, we know that. But because of his disabilities and prior documented issues and histories, authorities should have also known and treated the case with the highest level of urgency. And yes, did they let other agencies in, and did they look? And yes, they did all that, in my opinion, in the first 8 days. But look, because of all this, the lawsuit is saying because of all this and what was known or should have been known, even because of years prior to, that they were all involved, that when he came up missing, it should have been handled just a little bit different. Because we're speaking of a vulnerable missing child now. A vulnerable child that had red flags in his home. A vulnerable child that was told by neighbors, schools, had different calls from many people. All except, guess who? They didn't involve the father. I hear you, Raymond. So all of this before his disappearance is just suspicious, in my opinion. So some of the breakdown in 59 through 61 paragraphs, prior knowledge. That's my opinion. In my opinion, 59 through 61 is one of the strongest complaints that there is in this lawsuit. That's just my opinion only. And that's because DCS already had records. They had the documentation of their own words and their own documentation of previous essay in California, previous notes, previous everything that they did where they went out But they had all the information on previous trauma symptoms, bathroom accidents, all the records from the therapist, the fear of Chris from Sebastian's own words, the neighbor's words of what he said, the corporal punishment from Sebastian's own word, and from Chris's own words when they went out that he put his hands on him, this disabled child. All the things. There's just more and more and more. I could go on and on and on. But if that ain't enough for you, I don't know what is. Because if you don't get it by now, you're not going to get it. The complaint argues also that when new allegations arose, do y'all hear me? The complaint argues that also when new allegations arose in 2023, that's before any of us even heard of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Investigators should have considered everything already in the system, already documented, instead of viewing the allegations in an isolated situation. See, again, I'm going to repeat this again. If you didn't watch the first two lives, you need to. This was not the first time agencies had concerns in this family. And I'm excluding Seth because he was excluded. And we are talking about Sumner County Sheriff's Office. We are talking about the Advocacy Center. We are talking about the Assistant District Attorney's Office, Juvenile Justice System. So, do you understand that now? Because it don't take a genius to understand that. I don't know, Holly, but hopefully it will. They will. It will come back. I don't know. I really don't know. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Exactly. The rules. See, rules can be, and I'm strongly one that feels rules are made to be broken depending on what they are. I do. I feel like rules are made to be broken depending on what they are. For example, I was doing a job one time and I wasn't supposed to let people in, and whatever, it was only me there, and it was a poor baby out there, and the people had come and they had groceries and they had the baby and they had, it was hot, and the grandparents and whatever. Okay? I wasn't going to make them stay out there another hour. Well, I had been at this place 5 years. And then some numbnut come along and tried to say I was wrong for that. I shouldn't have did that. Bitch, please. Don't come telling me what to do. First of all, rules are made to be broken. They wasn't hurting my feelings setting that shit in the refrigerator and sitting right there on that little couch. I'm sorry. That wasn't hurting me one bit when all I had to do was get out of there in 5 minutes. Don't tell me. Rules are made to be broken sometimes. But it's funny how you can break some rules for some people and some you want to stick by the damn book. When you have no concern or no regard for humans at all. That's not me. It's disgusting. All these agencies knew. Or they should have known. So what did they know when he went missing? They knew he had autism. They knew he had ADHD. They knew he had 6q27 chromosome deletion syndrome. They knew he was under medical care. They knew he was scheduled for ABA therapy. They knew he had behavior concerns that had been demonstrated by many professionals. This was reported to law enforcement. He even had homicide tendencies. I imagine you might too if you was a child of that nature and you was locked in, blocked in, and had all this going on with you. I'm just saying. But all this was red flags. And no, Chris, Coop, somebody find this video, because nope, I want to share it. Not here right now because I'm on my phone, but I will share it again. What did Chris say? If he says what he says about Sebastian, or tells the world what he tells Seth, if they knew about Sebastian, they would stop looking. Let me tell you something, Mr. Chris. I don't know about these other people, but I'm going to speak for myself and people with a heart that have compassion for children, that love children. Because children have trauma, they have issues, they have things that need to be handled. There ain't a damn thing in this world, nothing, that could cause us to stop looking for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Nothing he could have did. He's still missing and he deserves to be found. And how dare you threaten his father with that? It's sad. It's sad. You had the capability. You had the capability to either walk away or to care enough about his mom to try to help him. Katie, you dumbass. He don't give a flying flip about you. I told you that before. And I'm not going to tell you that again, because if you don't know that, you're the biggest dumbass on the planet of this earth. Sorry, not sorry. Hey, Rogue. Good to see you. They knew that allegedly neighbors reported Chris saying he hated Sebastian and he wanted him to die. Even if that was in a fit of anger, it was not right. It was said, it was done. And that was also told by the grandmother, is what is in the reports. Also, he was considered at serious or imminent risk for removal from that home, the Proudfoot's home. And all this has to be known because DCS had all of this information before Sebastian even disappeared in their own paperwork. There was red flags, there was warning signs. Don't get mad at the messenger. Don't get mad at his father. His father was left in the dark. Put your anger where it goes. He was a vulnerable child. A child that should have stronger measures should have been taken to protect him. That was one of the things also stated in the lawsuit. It is not just saying mistakes were made after Sebastian disappeared. It's telling you, all of you, that there were warning signs, and they existed long, long, long before February 25th, 2024. And it's well documented. You have to keep saying it's well documented, because Sumner County, DCS, State of Tennessee, all the programs, everybody, they damn well knew it. They have the documents. Thank you, exactly, Rogue. Boom. Just looking back at some of your comments. It is an evil thing to say to anyone. Absolutely. I can't imagine it, Holly. I just can't. And then, to be inspected if you have your belt on. And to get punished for not wearing a belt. And then you have to be put in pull-ups. It's just humiliating. Humiliating. Degrading. Always degrading him. Always degrading him. Right? It's very sad. It just makes my heart ache. Yeah, nobody's parents are perfect. Retha said even my parents weren't perfect, but I did have a decent upbringing. Sometimes I said bad things about my childhood, but I did survive, and I'm thankful. Yeah, and seeing some of this stuff, Retha, I bet there's a lot of people out there that go, my God, I thought mine was bad. These things are horrible. And, I have not been able to verify the pressure washer thing, but sorry, I had to take a drink. But looking back, if that did happen, and I'm not saying it did because I don't know, but if it did happen, you know what? That had to be a horrible, horrible thing. And something that really physically hurt bad as well. And is that really something that the neighbors saw? And is that why that they got one of the calls? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm just sitting here thinking back now. I can't imagine a pressure washer on anybody's skin. Just saying. But worse things have been done to kids. And it's just horrible. I can't see it. And I don't understand. His mother. That's who I don't understand. In all of these players, I don't understand Katie. Especially and I'm not being mean, but especially when you already go through this yourself, allegedly, you damn sure want better for your child. I just don't get this. And it just seems like to me, Sebastian always got the bad end of everything. I honestly think I need to clear my mind a bit. This has been tough. It's been tough to read. There is a lot more, but I'll be back with more of it tomorrow. Well, it might be late tomorrow, because I think it's going to be late before I get home tomorrow night. But I don't know. I'll be back. I want to say, though, from my heart, I want Sebastian found. This is horrible. This is horrible. It's a shame that it's even come to this. There's one thing that's important, and that's Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He disappeared. His father didn't know about this stuff. That is a shame in itself. It's heartbreaking. Then you got a man tormenting his own mind day in and day out, thinking, well, if I would have did this different, if I would have did that, that just alone, the things before he disappeared, has to drive a person nuts. I don't think anguish is the word for it. My hope is that he will be found, that the truth will come out, whatever that truth is. Because Sebastian needs his dignity. He deserves the truth. He deserves to be found. And I hope these conversations do continue and people start to report anything that they suspect with a child, because like I said, that can always be resolved or, my bad later on. But these agencies need to start taking accountability. They need to start being transparent. The police departments and stuff like that, they are to protect these children. The Department of Children and Families, that's what they take their job for. And they put on these badges to protect the public's trust. Which public? The one you choose? The one you're not biased on? The one you don't feel like is, what? They're all humans. Everybody's a human. And everybody deserves to be found. And Sebastian deserves to be found. And we are not giving up. Y'all stay Sebastian strong, and thank you for joining me again tonight. Thank you for being here with respect and being open-minded. No matter if you agree or you don't agree, it's okay. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate you sharing your opinions here. That's what they are, they're opinions. We can all have our own opinions. It's a free country. And I appreciate you never giving up on Sebastian and never forgetting about Sebastian, because he is the story. And his story is not over. It's not over until he's found. Please share the FBI flyer. hit the thumbs up on your way out. I can't play music when I'm on my phone. I don't know how to do all that. I'm sorry. But I do appreciate you. I love you. If you're just coming in, please rewind, share, like, all that's free. And I'll see you in the streets. And say a prayer for Seth and Sebastian. Thank you.